What's going on, friends? Stormy Calder here, your favorite psychic medium, shaman, high performance coach. I am going to free up some energy, already been done, and get you guys a reading for next week. Hopefully something vibey. So I'm going to check into the Akashic Records and let's see what's coming for the week, yeah? If you're new to my world, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. Let's get this download. I'm going to breathe for just a few moments in the records and then just bring you a stream of consciousness of themes, of reads, of what's coming forward. And let's get this rock star party rolling. Okay. Believe in the things that you say you will do. Allow what you do naturally, without force, authentically, to be everything that you need to be the permission, to be the allowance for you to receive the mystical potential and mystical probabilities that are awaiting you. Many of you have chosen realities of struggle and strife and hardship and relationship that challenges your ability to perform, your ability to be yourself. When we state perform as in performance, it is not wearing a mask to then enter a stage to gain approval or validation seeking from others. But the performance is simply your ability to combine your own power with your vision of the reality that you wish to perceive and live and dream, in combination with your authentic truth, your voice that has been developed through time, and all that which has chiseled away at the aspects of your energy that were not you. And we know that it's been painful for each chiseling, each release, to allow David to come forward from the statue, from the marble. There's nothing easy about being chiseled into a god or a goddess. For those of you that would push back on that statement, this is not from a position of narcissistic self-inflation, but it's from the position of understanding that to be you is to enliven and open up the God spark within you. It is to become the most alive version of yourself. It is to be in the highest levels of performance, which is why Stormy is a high performance coach. It is bringing through the soul, through the highest level of authentic performance that feels natural, like an Olympic athlete. If you were a child and you were well developed and had certain skills and talent, but no one around you could acknowledge those skills and talents, you would never see your potential. For this is the idea of the dormant child who is an Olympic athlete. Without someone, a coach, someone who can see that potential, acknowledge it within them, and bring it out of them, there is no Olympic athlete. You have to be acknowledged in the performance to reach the highest states of performance. You need to be able to see and perceive your own skills, including your adversity, not as a detriment, but as a superpower. Many of you are still trying to erase your shadow strengths. We are not encouraging you to reel in the shadow and use it in the dark as your power, but they are strengths and can be cultivated as power within you that creates the drivetrain or the engine of the power that drives you forward through your existence, through your life. Many of you say you are unmotivated. You don't have the motivation for your life. It is because you are leaving your own drivetrain, your own engine of self-worth, your own power on the sidelines, not choosing yourself, not choosing to believe in your potential, and not cultivating the skills that are necessary intuitively in order to acknowledge your strengths and skill sets, to cultivate them and acknowledge what sort of vision would be appropriate for the skill sets you have in waiting that are desiring the complication of development. Too many of you wish and want for better realities, but are unwilling to go through the complications, the true complications of the struggle, of the adversity of what it is to find, discover, and refine your inherent gifts, turning them into magical powers and abilities that are the equivalent of you becoming an Olympic athlete in whatever it is that you do, whoever it is that you are, where you are outperforming without trying. There is no competition from this place, because to perform from this level of spiritual performance, like the engine of a foreign car, there is nothing like it. Stormy loves foreign cars, so we are going to continue to speak through the foreign car and foreign automobile. A Lamborghini can acknowledge another Lamborghini. A Ferrari can acknowledge a Maserati. But a Honda doesn't acknowledge a Ferrari. There is a level of consciousness that does not understand in any way or shape or form what it is to be a high performance vehicle, what it is to be a high performance human. Because to be high performance is to require much more maintenance than is traditional for anyone else that is normal. Those of you that are seeking to be high performance vehicles in your consciousness, you are seeking to become on the path of ascended mastery. You are seeking to become the truest, highest version of yourselves. But you identify as a Honda. You identify as the sort of consciousness that is to fit in with everyone else around you. Ferraris require far less maintenance long-term, more maintenance up front than the economical cars. They are more expensive cars. They require a larger investment strategy. But the investment strategy at that level of performance is rather easy, for they are built to perform. Their maintenance schedules are regular, on time, knowing exactly what needs to be done for these cars, but you need to learn how to drive those cars. You need to learn the mechanics of the engine, of the automobile, how it turns, how it moves, how it accelerates. All of this in comparison to your own consciousness is you understanding your gifts, your strengths, the realities, how you work through time. What it is that you are so precisely different than everyone else in this world that is a complete strength, but there is a struggle of the cultivation of those strengths, for you are not in recognition with anyone around you. You have to be willing to let go of any idea of low maintenance. You are high maintenance if you are an ascended master position. If you are as an ascended master in training, as we like to work with Stormy with many of her clients, when you are in training, you are releasing what it is to fit in. You are releasing the idea that you could possibly be low maintenance. And the low maintenance is being maintained by other humans. Stormy runs on spirit. Spirit keeps her up. There is a very, very high level of spiritual maintenance for Stormy to wake up and perform. And for those of you that want to be at your highest states of awareness, that are looking to become the magic sauce in the environment where you point and with your will, you are able to manifest that which you dream. You are in your highest performance states in that position. You require the most amount of spiritual maintenance. It is a high level of responsibility, and the largest aspect of that struggle is when spirit places you into refinement to separate you from everything that surrounds you. There is a feeling of aloneness that comes with this path, not because you are truly alone. When we're done chiseling you, you will be able to acknowledge other foreign cars around you. In your consciousness, you will be acknowledged. But in the process of the chiseling, you're going to feel rather alone. That is part of the struggle. The struggle is in a level of understanding who you are not, seeing everything fall away, bringing the vision back to the statue of David, where the artist sees the vision of what is to be chiseled out of the marble, and through one hammer stroke at a time takes away anything that is not the David statue. The process of the taking away is a spiritual process of purging and evolution that is very, very painful for human consciousness. If you cannot endure the pain, you will stop before you're finished. Stormy has been schooled in her ability to move through this, both for herself, her consciousness, and understand it to help others through. The process of the marble being chiseled away from you is so painful that most people will scream in agony spiritually and let it all go. If you can learn how to endure and work with the pain of the process of growth and ascension, understanding the vision, these all come to very, very specific, highly cultivated spiritual skills, which is the maintenance of your new vehicle, of your consciousness, then you will endure the pain of every piece of marble being taken away that is not you. The same could be said for cutting a diamond. The consciousness of a diamond, when it is raw, is raw. The process of cutting away anything that is not the facet of the pure, perfect, sparkling diamond with the vision is a very, very painful process for the diamond. And may we remind you that only a diamond can cut another diamond. Diamond is the hardest mineral. To be cut by another diamond is to have someone in likeness, other souls in direct likeness, that when they cut, when they make the precision through spirit, it's not even through their individual consciousness, there is a pain. And you have to be able to discern and understand the difference between the pain of something that is bad for you and the pain of being refined, and allowing that refinement long term. For this is not a process that's a month, it's not a process that's a year. It is ongoing. It is for the rest of your life. It is a process of self-discovery. The more you align to and understand the visceral experience of what it is to be cut into shape, cut into God form, the more comfortable you will become with the process. So you will allow it willingly and surrender and stop clinging to what it is to fit in with other basic humans that are not on this path. To be in spiritual high performance is to be in spiritual high performance. There are a certain amount of foreign cars on the planet. There are many of them. There's no lack of a foreign, beautiful, fine automobile. However, there are far less than there are economy cars. Far, 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 far less. Stormy lives in Southern California. She sees Lamborghinis, Maseratis, Porsches, Ferraris regularly. But for anywhere else in the country, if you were to see one, you would stop in your tracks. That is the sort of consciousness that we are speaking about. To be that, to become that, to have that effortless high performance is to become comfortable with staring, people staring at you. It is to be comfortable with attention and to be able to discern that attention, because it takes a very, very high level of discernment to reject the attention that is harmful and to refine the attention that is loving. It is an active process. Many of you that are wishing to step into your highest level of potential have fear of visibility, and that fear is not unwarranted. For the brighter you are, the more pure your soul, the more pure your heart, carrying a heart of gold, carrying yourself as an earth angel through this world, doing the work to become that, stops people dead in their tracks. And a lot of those people are not kind and sweet. Most of the people looking at you, perceiving you, do not have pure hearts. That is why there's a fear of this level of visibility, because you have to understand what you are. Honor what you are so you're not stolen from energetically when people see you and try to make you like them, because they're jealous and envious because you are built different, because you are willing to go through the spiritual process of ego death after ego death after ego death. Some of you think you just go through one or two ego deaths. Stormy has been in a continual process of being chiseled away by her higher level spirit team, releasing everything that it is that she thought to be human, and allow herself to die over and over and over and over again. And to then learn how to live and to breathe and to believe in the new identities that are her actual identity, not the identities taken on in order to fit in with humanity. And it is quite a struggle. And that is not a negative belief system. It is an identification of what is required for this level of work, this level of ascension. This is a stream of consciousness of education to give you some of the consciousness of understanding what it takes to actually be in the highest levels of performance. Many of you wish you could have something, but you're not willing to do it. Because the level of the doing it requires such a level of pain and agony in the process of occupying the consciousness of your human consciousness while being chiseled. The soul being chiseled itself can handle itself etherically. The human vehicle perceiving its soul being chiseled into a human consciousness is where the struggle is, because humans are limited by nature. Humans are built different. To be able to merge these states of consciousness, which are the 3D and 5D consciousness, is very, very, we will say difficult, but it's not that it is actually difficult. It's that all of you scream in agony and run from it because it is the opposite of what it is to fit in your human consciousness, which makes you a threat to the system and a threat to everyone around you. So if you are not accustomed to dealing with threats regularly, moment to moment, daily, and handling them in high stress, high pressure, high stakes situations ongoing for the rest of your life, you will not be comfortable becoming the version of yourself that is this highest state of being, that is the merging of the 3D and 5D realities, the merging of the timelines into the one. Your one true love. Into the one. Your one true love. It's you. It was always you. You were always here to fall in love with you, regardless of any other people that are surrounding you. The more you externalize that love and ask other people to give that to you, the more you split off your soul power and try to fit in as a human, which creates agony between the human and the soul. Because now it's harder to merge the human and the soul because you have separated yourself from the soul. Fall in love with you. It is a challenging process. Fall in love with you. Come in alignment with you. And as you do, you will fall out of alignment with falling in love with everyone else, because you don't need to. You're in love with you. This is the merging of the 3D and the 5D realities into the human form, into the box of what it is to be human. And yes, we are calling you a box or a specific type of box, and this process is a very new sort of awakening for humanity, and it is antagonizing. It is to be anti-human. To embrace this process is to deny everything that it is to be a typical human. It is to refine yourself and separate yourself and merge with your soul, and then allow your soul to guide your movements through the matrix. Allow your soul to guide your movements through the flow of life. Allow your soul to love you when other humans won't, because they won't. Human love is very, very temporary. Stormy has a lot of these codes and access to understanding that. The temporary of human love, the condition of human love. The only love that is truly unconditional is the love of your soul from the self to you. Whenever you try to project that onto other people, you create unconscious betrayal wounds that have to make themselves known and clear materially. Unconsciously manifesting betrayal wounds as a human, because you're trying to find soulmate love in a human. The soulmate you're looking for is your own soul. You are mating with your own soul. It's not to deny any level of that reflection. Once you do that, you can find, again, a Lamborghini acknowledges another Lamborghini. A Ferrari acknowledges a Ferrari. And also in dissimilarity as well, a Ferrari will acknowledge a Lamborghini. A hot, sporty, sexy car will acknowledge another hot, sporty, sexy car. And from that place, you can attract the other soulmate partners that are in soul alignment with themselves as well, because it takes one to acknowledge one. If you want that soulmate companionship, you have to be in companionship with yourself. Someone else would have to have the same relationship with themselves, and then they can acknowledge each other through that soulmate compatibility and come into any level of spiritual and human mating ritual. This is what we would call the elevated twin flame journey. We'll use that as a very loose term for you all because of how you acknowledge soulmate love, but we may change that term is what we're saying in the future. But for now, you can sit with that. If we were being real with you, it's really about looking at the foreign cars, for those of you that are single, seeing all of the foreign cars of the other humans that are in likeness of that same resonance and saying, who's single? My one's great. It's less about the attunement of the specific individual person. And it's more about being the foreign car, acknowledging a foreign car, and then seeing who's compatible at the foreign car level. Because if they already have the compatibility with their own soul, if they have already entered mating ritual with their soul, and you are in with your own soul, it's going to be very, very easy to love each other from a place of unconditionality because you already have the unconditional love from your own soul. So really, what you're doing is just acknowledging the other person from the place of your own wholeness. We know this is very, very unsexy and unromantic for humans. Humans would want to see it as a more romantic, my puzzle piece fits your puzzle piece. We were perfect together the whole time. We were missing without each other. And that is not this sort of love. That is a more codependent soulmate love, a lower vibrational form of soulmate love, thus still a form of soulmate love. You will be met where you are in your own vibrational frequency. We are showing more when you endure the pain of the self-revival, of the separation of the self from the masses, of acknowledging your premium value and being and living that, and taking the states of what used to cause agony and turning them into the basic fuel that runs the engine. You take on the state of consciousness that is to be in a higher level of consciousness, where there are other humans at that higher level of consciousness, and in pure acknowledgement, it's as good as being selected in what many of you would say is a twin flame union when you're born, where you're meant. You don't even have to be that. At this level of consciousness, that acknowledgement is enough to create all of those connections, because the connections of the idea of this romantic love that we are describing, that many of you grew up seeking, is there for the soul. It is there for you to engage in permission with your own soulmate relationship with yourself. We are hoping this takes some pressure off of many of you. Those of you that are functioning at higher levels of performance don't have to worry about a one and only per se, because the options open up at the higher levels, because you allow more options for mating, for long-term commitment, because you become your own long-term commitment. You become the love that you seek. So then it's very easy for the love to find you. All of this is just permission for you to find you, regardless of which story you buy into. Some of you need the Cinderella story. Some of you need to feel saved in order to know that God loves you, in order to know that your soul would allow you to be saved. Some of you need to be the saviors in order for you to know that your soul could then be weak or acknowledge weakness. Some of you need the relationships to match in such a way as codependent puzzle pieces in order to believe that God is real, in order to believe that the soul made you so special that would find an exact opposite to everything that you are. Some of you need that. Each aspect is beautiful. Some of you just need to know that the pain was worth going through to become the David sculpture. We would give you a feminine reference, but right now the masculine reference is coming through. But it's equivalent, Aphrodite. To become the spiritual automobile. And then to acknowledge another god or goddess, to acknowledge another ascended master and say, this looks good. Let's just do it. Because you've already got everything that you need. You got the license to fly. You got your pilot's license. You got your driving license. The license is what creates the relationships. Regardless of where you are in this process, you will be met in the perfect match with others and with the self. This was our download through Stormy on what it is to be in spiritual high performance, effortless high performance, like a high performance vehicle. We hope you enjoyed this broadcast message. We were certainly happy to bring it to you. And happy to give Stormy the little specifics of understanding so she understands a little bit more why she is so different from everyone else. Enjoy your week, your day, your messaging. Whenever you see this, you will pick up exactly what you need for you without judgment and without haste. Oh my gosh, you guys, that was a really fun message. I was trying to listen as I was speaking it through. They always work through my consciousness because that's how I like to do things. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If effortless high performance is something you'd like to learn more about and that seems like a vibe, I can invite you guys to work with me. Right now I have Quantum Identity Breakthrough is my one-to-one coaching program. It's open. We do bi-weekly coaching calls, so you have access to me and my channel pretty ongoing. With voice coaching, voice memos, and email coaching. You also, when you enroll in that, you get access to one of my programs. You can choose from Money Recoded, Akashic Records Immersion, or Break the Mold. So if that's of interest to you, send me an email. I'll leave my email in the description below, and I can send you a little bit more information about that coaching package. If you are in the elevated premium automobile vehicle, that is the consciousness my guides were describing, I do have the Guru program as well, and that is a higher VIP program. So if you're interested, send me an email. Let me know what you'd like. We will chat a little bit back and forth and see if it's a good fit for you. I'm sending you guys so much love. I hope you enjoyed this channel, this day, this week, whenever it reaches you, and I will talk to you soon. Alrighty, lots of love.